I appreciate you being out here with me this evening. Actually, the scene is initially going to start over here to my left. What happened this evening is 911 received a shots fired call for service. There was indication that there was a fight going on between 8 to 9 individuals here in the parking lot of the strip mall here in the 6700 block of North Tryon Street. During the fight, which again is off in front of the Family Dollar here, some of the parties went through the wood line. Just on the other side of the wood line is an apartment complex over on Orchard Trace Lane. At some point during the dispute, there was gunfire. Officers responding to the scene were receiving additional calls for service. At least one of those calls indicated that there was a victim on Orchard Trace Lane. North Tryon Division officers did respond over to the apartment and located a victim, approximately 16 years of age, a male. Fire and medic responded to the scene. Medic did attempt to provide life-saving aid, unfortunately was not able to, and pronounced the victim deceased on scene. So currently what you have is our homicide detectives, patrol officers, and our crime scene investigators processing the scene. And I don't know if you can see, we do have some evidence here right in the parking lot in front of the Family Dollar, as well as reviewing video evidence that we have in the parking lot. Obviously you can see behind me we do have one of our police sky towers, so we do have some video evidence that our detectives are reviewing currently. We also have a second scene just on the other side of this wood line over on Orchard Trace Lane, so we do have additional personnel working over there to identify witnesses. Now I can tell you at this time we have been fortunate to locate several witnesses who are speaking to our homicide detectives currently. As I always stress, if there's anybody who's watching or listening to the program or reading about it on your news apps, if anybody has any information and would like to remain anonymous, they can contact Crime Stoppers 704-334-1600, or people do have the opportunity to speak directly to a homicide detective. You can reach a homicide detective by calling us at 704-432-TIPS. So again, whether you were here at the strip mall when the fight initially occurred, or if you live at the apartment complexes or were at the apartment complexes earlier this evening, you lived there, you were visiting a friend over there, you saw a dispute, you saw something out of the ordinary, please, if you have any information, we encourage you to call in. You can either remain anonymous or you can speak directly to a homicide detective. Honestly, our sky towers are used for a variety of purposes, so we deploy them in a multitude of capacities. It can be anything from an area where we're experiencing a high volume of car break-ins to an area where we've had incidences of robbery. So each of the patrol divisions makes a request for resources to support operations or initiatives they have going on. So again, it's for a multitude of reasons. Certainly on a busy corridor like North Tryon Street, the North Tryon Division deals with both violent and property crime issues, and that's just one means to support it. So obviously it does give us additional leverage from an observation standpoint. Sometimes we do have officers that are posted up inside, and then we do look to have video support when we deploy the sky towers. That was so in the initial call for service, we did get a shots fired call for service from one of the businesses, as well as some individuals fighting. The initial indication as officers were responding that it was a group of approximately 8 to 9 individuals that were involved in the fight.
One?
No, a group of individuals. That there was a fight involving 8 to 9 individuals.
Excellent. And do you know who provoked the attack? Was it the victim, or do you not know?
At this time, it's as I said, we have some video surveillance that we're reviewing from here in the strip mall, and then we're talking to some witnesses that we've been able to locate over at the apartment complex, and so we'll corroborate those two sources of information to be better able to tie together what occurred in the incident. What I can tell you is that we do have a single male individual, approximately 16 years of age, who did sustain gunshot wounds. So I was just talking to the media last night. Now we've got another homicide. And we got another homicide involving a 16-year-old. So on a night when there are so many people across the country and here in our city trying to talk about moving past differences, moving past our animosity, working together, we're standing here investigating another homicide involving a 16-year-old. So when we should be celebrating the possibility that the youth in our society, particularly in our city, bring, this has to be troubling to everybody. Okay, this again, and I say this all the time, it's like it can't be any one entity, it can't be any one person that makes the change. It's got to be us as the city of Charlotte having a desire to work together and to want the best for each other. this is not the best that we can do, and we have to be able to work together so that we can achieve, really the results that we can as a city. And so as we finish out 2020 and we move into 2021, we've got to stop working against each other. We have got to realize that regardless of our differences, our opinions, that we all want everybody else to be well, to do well, to be safe. And this is not something that we can tolerate as a community. We've got to be able to band together, put our differences aside, and realize that what we want for each other is to live in a safe and prosperous community. And the intolerance, I mean, is if somebody says something you don't like, looks at you the wrong way, posts something on social media that you don't care about, resorting to firearms or violence of any means is not, the first response. We can't say, like, I didn't like what you said to me, I'm gonna hit you, I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna harm you. It's like we've got to be able to listen to a difference of opinion, but we've also got to be able to walk away. We've got to be able to decompress. We've got to be angry and resolve our frustration or internal feelings in a manner that doesn't cause harm, permanent or temporary, to anybody else that we're around. I mean, and that really is the common thread all year long, whether it's a road rage incident or somebody in a restaurant or somebody at a party or somebody that you encounter at a store because they put something on social media about you or a friend or a family member. We've got to rise above all that. There's got to be a better way for us to resolve our conflicts than resorting to violence against each other.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.